Buonasera a tutti. Good evening and welcome to the Italian Radio Hour. Io sono Viviana and I would like to welcome back our regular listeners and also welcome any new listeners. Also, be sure to like us on Instagram and Facebook at Italian Radio Hour and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch up on any past video interviews. Vorrei dare il benvenuto ai nostri ascoltatori da tutto nel mondo. Grazie per essere con noi anche oggi mentre continuiamo il nostro viaggio per l'Italia e la cultura italiana. Few events in the world capture the essence of Italian excellence, elegance, and innovation quite like the Mille Miglia. Born in Italy nearly a century ago, this legendary race is far more than a competition. It is a symbol of style, precision, and sheer automotive passion, and this legendary race has transcended borders to make its thrilling debut in the United States in 2025. Today, only 20 days prior to its second edition, I have the pleasure to welcome Alessandro Comoglio, Director of the U.S. operation for Miglia Experience, which will take place from February 20th through the 23rd, starting in Naples, Florida, and ending in Miami. With Alessandro, we will talk about the heart of translating this iconic Italian legacy into a uniquely American concept, overseeing logistics, partnerships, routes, and vision while preserving the soul of the Frecciarossa. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Parli italiano? Do you want to learn, improve, or master your Italian? Istituto Mondo Italiano can help. Located in the heart of Regent Square, Mondo Italiano offers small group classes and one-on-one private tutoring in person or online to help you learn Italian in no time. Visit us online at istitutomondoitaliano.org. Welcome, Alessandro. I see that you are ready to go from the start line in Miami. How are you today?
Yes. So thank you very much, Viviana, for having me today. And we are, on behalf of the whole organization in Italy, we're so much proud to have been able to bring this unique event for the second time on U.S. soil.
Well, indeed, was the first edition was I was personally able to witness in person the beauty of the route, the breathtaking cars that just paraded once after another, really some true automotive icons. And then another, from the very beginning, what emerged is a very strong sense of camaraderie among the drivers from all over the world. It was not just U.S. participants. There were many flags, many countries represented. So I wanted to step back and maybe you can help framing what Mille Miglia is in Italy and what was perhaps the idea, the concept of translating is not just a race, it's an experience. And that's why I love the fact that you call it the Mille Miglia Experience.
Exactly.
So take us back to, I cannot say 2 years ago, because this project probably started longer than that.
I would say that this long-standing tradition on the Mille Miglia started almost 100 years ago, because in 1927, we're going to celebrate the 100th anniversary for the national institution, which really is a national monument in Italy. Started a rainy day, 1927 in Brescia, among a group of car enthusiasts and taking place every year ever since in Italy. Considered to be the most beautiful race in the world, according to a very famous quote by Enzo Ferrari, whose personal and professional life so inextricably tied with the story of Mille Miglia. So that's where Enzo Ferrari started as a humble tester for Alfa Romeo, moving on to becoming the legendary constructor that we all know about. And so we are very proud that we've been able to transfer the incredible tradition and legacy that Mille Miglia expresses in Italy in the US, and making it, as you said, an experience which goes beyond the pure driving, which is of course still is the essence of the event, but trying to create a very special occasion in different moments throughout the route. So every lunch, every dinner, every social event is designed to become an experience that delivers special memories to our participants.
So I have a question that this is a precision race, if I'm correct in the
Correct.
terminology, and it's
Exactly.
not a speed race. So this is something that probably it's kind of a new concept that the
Yeah, it is.
drivers had to get accustomed to. So would you like to elaborate a little bit about what is a precision race? What are you looking at? What did the drivers do prior to hitting the race?
Well, it used to actually be a speed race in Italy at the beginning. It was done as a speed race from 1927 to 1957, and then it became increasingly dangerous to race like this on open roads and open traffic. So it was resurrected in the mid 70s with this new concept of a traveling museum of time, so-called time distance rally, where it's not about being the fastest, but about being the most precise on the road. So it's called the time distance rally. So the whole point is trying to be on schedule as much as possible throughout the course of the race. So there will be multiple time checkpoints along the course of the rally with race keepers and time officials. Everybody's coming from Italy, so we're trying to keep the race very true to the essence of the original spirit of the Italian format. And so the objective is to drive from checkpoint A to checkpoint B, try to arrive at the following checkpoint at the exact time that is assigned to your car to be there. So, and we get to a precision to the 10th of second. So if you manage to get to the next checkpoint, trying to keep as consistently as possible the average speed that is assigned to your car to be there, and you manage to be there at exact that minute and that second, then you get the most points. If you're early or you're late, you get a penalty. So that, and it's called chess on wheels, because it's about being very, it's about precision, it's about accurate navigation with your partner, with your co-driver that is going to help you, providing you the instructions, reading road books, and helping you try to be as consistent as possible with the schedule that is assigned to your car. And
Okay,
we're using the same tools, the same equipment 3 times that have been used in Italy for the last 100 years. The famous pressostati was actually a very thin tube placed on the ground. When you cross over that tube with your front tires, it activates, it opens the time reading. And when you get to the next one, to the next checkpoint, you will find another pressostati on the ground. And when you cross over it with your tires, it closes the time reading, and it will give you an accurate reading of the time that has been taken in this section between the checkpoint A and checkpoint B.
That I really appreciate it, because I was right behind some of the people that were indeed operating those pieces of equipment that you just mentioned. I think that was part of kind of the first, getting the drivers to hit those.
Yeah,
It looked like rubber cord to me, but
yeah, exactly.
in a certain way, and
Yeah.
so that
And
was kind
of course, this is a concept that is not very common in the U.S. That resonates the most into the mind of those who have a very good knowledge of the history behind the Miglia Miglia. And so, in order to let everyone familiarize and become comfortable with the rules and regulation of a time distance rally, we're doing this training day in Naples on the 20th of February in a very, very peculiar facility at the Johnny Bomber Proving Grounds, which is a testing facility originally developed by Ford and then owned by Chrysler for several years, which is just a perfect environment to let the drivers test the reading equipments, familiarize with the technical equipments, and also creating that very special bonding atmosphere that is so typical of the Miglia Miglia. So it's a great day of training and fun that is going to take place there, where I believe there's one of the longest straight road tracks I've ever seen, 2.5 miles, which is almost an airport landing stretch. And there's also a very, very neat handling course that will be just perfect for everyone to test their ability in coping with the specific rules of the Miglia Miglia rally. So everybody's going to be very safe and sound the very next day, where we'll start from the Ritz-Carlton Tiburon in Naples, the actual road rally that is going to take the participants into a epic journey across southern and central Florida.
So you talked about creating the experience. You talked about keeping also the rules as the Italian experience. So were there additional complexities from an operational standpoint that you had to face, or maybe there was a moment, a haha moment, when everything came together, said, yes, we did it? And was it pre-race, after race, during the race? I'm sure.
Well, the most challenging item on the list is to create an accurate and reliable road book. So we've been traveling all across Florida, doing very thorough and precise site inspections with a painstaking level of detail in order to create a road book that gives the drivers precise indication of each intersection, of each turn. So if they want to play it very old school, if they want to stay true to the very essence of the original race, they will receive this hard copy of the road book, where every intersection and every turn is perfectly designed in order to let them follow the right course. And we put our best efforts this year to even improve quality of the route, scouting the most hidden coastal roads, ridges, back roads. So even for those who are born and raised in Florida, it's going to be very, very, very surprising, because we're going to take the drivers to places where you don't even think you're in Florida.
Wonderful. So from the minute that the drivers, and let's also specify, there is a driver and there is a co-pilot, the one that is going to decipher all those the book you
also
just
for taking turns in driving, because it's quite long hours every day, so it requires some serious effort to especially for those who are on board of the most classic cars. So that's why a co-driver is essential to support you in driving, and of course to support you with directions.
So let's talk about, I was going to ask you another question. I'll come back to it later, but you just mentioned different classes of vehicles that we will be admiring. So can you elaborate more on the brackets,
Sure.
the divisions?
Sure. As you probably know, in Italy, it's just one class, because it's meant to be a reenactment of the original speed race that took place from 1927 to 1957. So that's only these years that are admitted. So you have to own a car that is built between 1927 to 1957 to participate in Italy. And it's a massive horde of classic cars. We had 460 cars in June in Italy for the last edition of Miglia. So you can imagine this incredible convoy of cars hitting small villages in the Chianti Hills. It's a massive event. For the format that we have developed for the US, specifically for Florida, it's a bit more inclusive and flexible. So we have three different categories. The Queen class, the core class, still is the so-called Miglia Originals. So cars built from 1927 to 1957, the super classic cars. But then we have an additional category that we call the modern icons, for classic icons, from 1958 to 1994. And of course, doing this in Miami, in South Florida, where supercars and hypercars are just part of the natural landscape as palm trees, we had to include the supercars and the hypercars that for this year represent the slight majority of the lineup of cars. So it's an incredible mix of cars from all eras, ranging from the oldest we have, which is a 1928 Bugatti, to the most contemporary Ferraris.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that during last year, there are probably a lot of stories or vehicles that you might tell us
Yeah, yeah,
about. One of my most memorable, well, first of all, it's very interesting to see the Rolls Royce and then just a few feet away, then you'll see the Fiat 500 putting its
yes,
way.
yes,
So
yes, yes,
one
yes.
of the initial experiences was actually when the lovely Fiat 500 broke down. So I was right
But
behind
we
them.
managed
And
to get it back running again
yeah,
twice. It broke down twice, and both times and eventually they made it to the finish line.
so my recollection is that obviously they had to stop on the side of the road. I was right. I passed them and then I saw that they were not moving. So went on reverse, probably not something that you should be doing on a but there wasn't anyone. And so we had alligators on the side. We
Yeah,
had a very warm day. Then we had the two gentlemen that were trying to figure out, did I have the right spare parts or not? Then the state troopers came, and then eventually the I think either the tow truck or someone that got them back to the next stop. So that was my one of
yeah.
the many stories. Do you have something else that it doesn't have to be an emergency, but things
No,
happen
no, no,
every
no.
time there is
Of course, we have several incredible stories that we can tell about these happy first edition. But let me tell you a short story about probably the most iconic and valuable car we have in the lineup. It was a Ferrari 250 mm, 250 mm, or mm stands, of course, for Mille Miglia. That's an original car from 1952, took part in the original Mille Miglia. So it's a museum grade car, and it takes serious effort to control that car because that car, it's a brutal race machine that was conceived to win the Mille Miglia in the 50s. And we have these hardcore enthusiast drivers on board that car. And all of a sudden, that car it's just stunning. It's painted in a marvelous blue Hollandaise. It truly is the epitome and the perfect incarnation of the original Mille Miglia style. And all of a sudden, they realized that they were having a problem with the steering wheel that was vibrating like a pneumatic hammer. And also the noise of that car, it's deafening. So most of the time they were wearing headphones on, and it was just like for being aboard a World War II aircraft with that deafening noise, the steering wheel vibrating as a pneumatic hammer. But somehow they realized if they managed to keep their speed steadily above 80 miles per hour, for some kind of magic, the vibration would stop. So you had these $14 million car with two gentlemen with headphones on, launch as a missile at 90 miles per hour on some remote Florida back road. And that's where we had to use our most considerable arguments and diplomacy to avoid have these guys arrested by the local police.
Yes, because as we said before, this is not a speed race, and that brings me
And
to
so so these kind of hardcore enthusiasts you only find in Mille Miglia. People are willing to take a 1952 racing car from the original Mille Miglia into 1,000-mile Florida roads and driving with headphones on to resist the noise. It's something that was really part of the original daring and pioneering spirit of the Mille Miglia.
Mhm. So this is indeed a unique show, spectacle, so to speak, for the Floridians who probably have never seen these type of vehicles going through. And also what I have to praise the organization in all the material that was shared with whether it was the media or the general public, you had designated viewpoints. And I was actually surprised for being at the first race that there were so many people in the streets just with big signs and the kids, everyone, different generations were blended together. And then I think it was also beautiful when the cars paraded into Venice because Venice had also some sort of car show. So the blending of the two, the Venetians, let's call it the American Venetians, could not have hoped for a better experience than that. That was equally memorable in my opinion. You conquered the hearts of the Floridians, and so this where should we tell people that might be in Florida, perhaps some of the places that they should be showing their love for this experience this year? You have some of
Well,
the spots.
yes. Well, as you were mentioning, Venice being one of the most emotional moments of the whole rally. And I am glad to announce that for this year, we're renovating what has become a true partnership with the city of Venice that really created such an incredible and warm welcome for our drivers last year with an estimated 4,000 people gathering at Centennial Park just to greet the cars and waving thousands of flags. So it's been a really probably the best moment of the whole race. And given the commitment and the highest level of enthusiasm that the city is showing, we're doing something even greater this year. So we're not just driving through Venice for this new edition, but we're stopping there for lunch, taking all the drivers to two best Italian restaurants facing the park, and we're gonna have special time trials along the downtown streets in Venice. So it's gonna be even a greater event compared to last year. So we expect to have large crowds. So everyone is really invited to be with us on that special moment, because this is announces to be truly one of the best moments of the whole race. Of course, everyone is invited to be with us witnessing the first miles of the race through the downtown Naples, because that's where we're starting on the 21st. So we will be driving throughout whole the downtown area in Naples in the morning of that Saturday, and that's going to happen in connection with a large art festival that is very important for the city of Naples. So we believe that it will also be a very nice combination of a community event there, and combined with the cars, the Miglia Miglia parading through downtown, which we hope is going to be filled with people.
Wonderful. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about innovations and some other activities that perhaps are going to happen before or during the event. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Do you love Italian food? Want to learn the secrets of homemade pasta, sauces, and traditional recipes, just like Nana used to make? At Mondo Italiano, our authentic Italian cooking classes bring the taste of Italy right to Pittsburgh. From fresh pasta to regional specialties, every class is a delicious journey through Italy's culinary traditions. Spots fill quickly, so reserve your seat today. Call us at 412-478-2681 or find us online. Mondo Italiano, where Italy comes alive one dish at a time.
Un caffè, per favore. For more than 35 years, Pittsburgh has started its mornings with La Prima Espresso. From freshly roasted beans from around the world to the perfect espresso or cappuccino, every cup is crafted with care. Stop by and enjoy the warmth of our baristas and familiar faces, or bring the taste of Italy home. Order online today at laprima.com. La Prima Espresso, Pittsburgh's coffee. So we're back with Alessandro Comoglio. We are talking about the upcoming second edition of the Miglia Experience, which will take place in Florida, starting with February 20th in Naples. And I think that's when they're going to do all the checkups, to then hit the road on the 21st, ended up 1,000 miles later in Miami. So technology has always been the forefront, not only about car racing, and just one of the industries that Italy is very strong in. Last year, we were mesmerized by the autonomous Maserati MC20 that at the Kennedy Space Center, I think it hit 197 miles, obviously self-driven. This was also collaboration with the Politecnico. So again, here you have research, you have the automobile industry, you have this iconic race. We can't expect to have that re-happening today. So I was one this year, but I'm sure you guys have something special for us. Whether is also the meaning of some of the iconic roadways that the participants are going to be on or exhibits. Tell us a little bit about other elements of this experience.
Yeah, of course, being this a second edition, we tried our best to enhance the experience and to create new special occasions along the route. And one of the big highlights, probably the biggest highlights of these new edition that we're particularly proud of, is that we will be able to bring all the Miglia cars to Sebring International Raceway, which is also a great historic encounter between the most historic road rally existing in the world, Miglia, paying homage and visit one of the sacred temples of American motorsport, which actually is the oldest operational road racing track in America. So it's a great combination of traditions and stories that we're creating, crafting that day. And we believe that it's going to be a very special driving experience for our most passionate and discerning drivers to have the chance to enter this sacred temple, because the whole road track is going to be reserved to us for a couple of hours, a very thrilling experience. And so this is something that combines the two traditions. And I believe this is something that's going to create everlasting memories for our participants.
That is pretty amazing. I can't wait to see that. Going back to a question I wanted to ask you at the very beginning, my experience of just entering the room where the drivers were doing their check-in. It was just an amazing. There was something so special, and even the first lunch where people from all different parts of the United States and Turkey and Italy, I'm sure there were some other countries, maybe Mexico, I'm not 100% sure now. But we sat at the table and it felt as if we had known each other forever. So there is right away the sense of camaraderie was so very strong. Tell us a little bit about your own experience witnessing that, or were there also other activities that the participants were offered to the participants to socialize outside the course?
No, as you were saying, that's exactly the kind of magic that is created immediately among the drivers. Because even if we're talking for some of the participants of some of the most discerning car collectors, not only in Florida but in the world, because we have participants from 13 different countries, they proved to be so incredibly unpretentious, so friendly to each other. And so even if we had, as I said, museum grade cars that should be sitting in a museum, these cars of an invaluable price, the kind of connections that is created immediately in the atmosphere and the way that everybody's supporting each other, what we see on the road, people stopping by and checking cars that are having issues and maybe pushing the cars from behind, all these kind of occasions create a kind of bond that is really, really peculiar, that is very typical of what happened also on the streets in Italy during the Miglia. So we're very happy to see how people are managing to connect with each other, and the way that they live these experiences, they just being friends for a lifetime. And that's what happens. That after these 4 days, everybody has become best friends with anybody else. So that's what we managed to create this very special atmospheres, and we're very glad that this is something that we managed to achieve, and is also our objective for the second edition, to deliver this family feeling among the group of our drivers.
Mm-hmm. Do we know how many entries? Well, obviously registration has been long time closed. How many vehicles we're going to see taking part in this edition?
Well, I would say that we're going to have approximately exactly the same number of cars that we had in the first edition. So it's, again, going to be a wide array of ages and model years, with reaching a total of 70 cars, broke down in the 3 categories that we mentioned before. So that's going to be a magnificent convoy of 70 cars traveling across Florida. Mm-hmm. We're still waiting for some last minute additions, but
okay,
it's safe
so
to
there
say
is
that yes, mm-hmm. There's some special cars that we're still be willing to have on board. So we're still waiting for them to confirm their participation. But yes, it's safe to say that 70 cars, it's the final number.
Mm-hmm. Any partners that you would like to mention that have really come forward to make this happen? Last year, I remember a very strong partnership with NIAF, mm-hmm. which I think they're coming back, Poltrona Frau, Chopard. So tell us a little bit about what names and we're going to see again, maybe perhaps new names that have entered.
No. Of course. On one side, as I said, being a Miglia such a national institution, we have the official endorsement and patronage of several important government bodies and entities, ranging from the Automotive Club of Italy, the Ministry for Enterprises and Made in Italy, some international and national association, as you were mentioning, the National Italian American Association, of course, is with us. Again, the Italian Consul General, Michele Misto, based in Miami, is one of the most important and enthusiast supporters of our event. And that's for the institutional side. On the sponsor side, I would love to mention the very special partnership that we managed to create with Pininfarina. Pininfarina is one of the other most iconic brands that is so historically tied with the tradition of Miglia, because some of the most winning cars that have made history of Miglia were designed by Pininfarina. And Pininfarina is a leading design company in so many different realms. We're proud that we managed to create this partnership, and that is one of the best announcements that we can make for this new edition, is that the trophies are going to be designed specifically by Pininfarina. So it's tradition meeting technology, because these trophies are going to be very, very special, because they were designed by Pininfarina in a very limited series of only 5 pieces and handmade in Italy, in Venice in Italy, by Barovier and Toso, who is one of the most reputable artisans in Murano glass. So handcrafted, combining the cutting-edge technologies with the ancient ability in craftsmanship that belongs to this artisan in Italy. And so entirely crafted in Murano glass, and is just a stunning piece of design created by Pininfarina. And I believe that it might be worth registering to Miglia this year just to try to win that trophy, because this is going to become a very historic piece for collectors.
Wow. So obviously we're talking about kind of just the second edition, but I have to probe because I'm curious. Is the long-term vision to remain rooted in Florida, or could you see potentially the Miglia Experience expand to other parts of the United States?
Well, as you probably know, Miglia Experience is a format that has been developed to bring the values, the spirit, and as the word says, the experience of Miglia beyond the borders of Italy. So Miglia Experience's format have been happening in China, in the United Arab Emirates, in Greece, But with respect to the United States, for now, the home state of Miglia Experience is going to stay Florida. So we plan to do this in Florida for an additional 3 years.
Okay.
So, but beyond that, we might be
Chi
considering.
vivrà vedrà.
Yeah. So
well,
we
we can't give everything away.
Yeah.
It's a major logistic enterprise.
Yeah.
It's not just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, let's have a race somewhere else. Before we go into closing, probably a couple of minutes of reflection on this. So after seeing the Mille Miglia come alive on American roads, what does this project mean to you personally as Alessandro Comoglio?
Well, it's been something completely new for me and for the whole team. Having the chance of bringing something that is so deeply rooted in the golden age of Italian motorsport into a completely new environment for us. So it was a very challenging task that we had to accomplish in order to understand the American culture, the American environment, in order to create an effective combination between the legacy and the heritage represented by Mille Miglia with the American culture of motorsport. So it has been an incredible journey for me, and a lot of lessons I've learned during the first editions, and kind of people that I've had the opportunity to meet along this journey will remain with me for a lifetime. And also the process of building the route and the process of building the relationship with the cities that helped us so much in creating an overwhelming, warm and welcome to our cars will always be one of my long-lasting and founding memories. And so we learned so much from the first edition that we're really looking forward to bring everything that we learned in the first edition in order to improve and make an even better experience for the whole community in Florida for this upcoming edition that is going to mark, I believe, for the second time, an historic date for all the Florida car enthusiasts.
Wonderful. So one last question. And again, if there is any other remarks that you would like to add, but if you had to, first of all, I invite everyone to stay up to date with not only the countdown. There is always, how many days before this wonderful event takes place, but also the route and all the race information onto the website of Mille, 1,000 spelled in numbers, Miglia Experience Florida US, to really follow what's going on. But if you had to describe the Miglia Experience Florida in 3 words, what would those be and why?
Well, passion for sure, because it takes a lot of passion and also some serious courage to face 1,000 miles on open roads aboard of especially those who have endured this experience on board of the most classic cars, basically with no braking systems, with very slim tires. Those cars from the 30s and the 40s, they require such an enormous physical effort to be driven for so many hours, even under the rain, that these guys truly have become my personal heroes. So first word would be passion, of course, because that's what drives the whole event for us, and also drives our participants to participate in such a unique adventure. Heritage or legacy, because of course everything we do is all about preserving the history and treating these cars as rolling work of art that really belong to the best part of the automotive industry. And well, the last word that comes to mind is what I would say is future, because we're trying to bring on the legacy. We would like to bring on the heritage, and this is probably the best way to keep these marvelous masterpieces alive, and also to keep tradition. It has been standing for 100 years, and projecting that tradition into a brighter future.
Mhm. Alessandro, this has been a wonderful conversation. So thank you for taking time from your very busy schedule, because we're only 20 days away.
Yes, and again, it's almost tomorrow for us. So yes, we're rushing as well in order to have everything ready for that.
It's kind of your own finish line, yes, before
Yeah,
the race
And we
even
will,
starts.
of course, we will be honored and pleased to have you at every moment you wish to join with us, starting from the training day throughout the race. And so anytime you wish to join the race, you will be more than welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Plans, travel arrangements have been made. So, again, unfortunately, our time together is up. Il Big Ben, detto stop. And maybe next time I have one of your chronographs. But it's time for us to say arrivederci e alla prossima. We want to thank you for tuning in into the program. And if you have any questions or comments, or if you have any topics you would like us to address, please contact us at theitalianradiohour@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And remember, if any of you or your family and friends have missed a prior episode or would like to listen to this episode again, subscribe to the Italian Radio Hour on YouTube or where you catch your favorite podcasts. And don't forget to share, because sharing is caring. And we would like to thank again our guest, Alessandro Comoglio, the whole Miglia Experience entourage, our sponsors, Istituto Mondo Italiano and La Prima Espresso. E until next time, alla prossima. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, grazie a tutti.